She's saying how the women are viewed in porn.
No, she's talking about this.
So welcome back to another episode of Slit Talk Reviews. I am Chris.
And I'm Rella.
And of course, we are back with some BS footage, this time in regards to Lana Rhodes and her cry to the industry to view her as the victim she claims to be. Is she crying wolf, or is she just trying to generate views to get those bucks going?
Yeah.
It comes to that, so what I was talking about, like being pressured to do like more and more things, more hardcore things. So there's two different main genres of porn. There's GONZO porn, which is the aggressive porn that you guys are talking about. It's the rough anal sex, it's the choking, and I'll go more into that. And then there's vanilla porn, which is what Olivia is talking about as ethical porn, is what I think you would consider. Yeah. It's just like classic, like missionary, like just like basically like artsy sex.
I was gonna say, wait, I'm kind of laughing the inside because I've had someone call me vanilla before.
I mean, I love vanilla.
Like, why are you so vanilla? I'm like, what do you mean?
It makes me kind of hungry, but I've never even heard of the term gonzo, to be honest.
Yeah.
So gonzo is the first level of it, I would say, would be just, it's just like there's no like artistic vision to it. It's just like rough, hardcore sex. And that could be vaginal penetration. The next level up would be anal penetration in a gonzo style. And then there's a level far more than that. And I would say that during my time in porn, I'm not sure what is like the hype right now in porn. It goes through like different phases. But during my short stint in porn, the really extreme acts were what was popular. And that's why, being the number one performer in the industry at the time, everyone wanted to make money off me. So they pushed me to do these things. And it just gets really extreme, like you were saying, abusive.
Did you ever go through those experiences where you had to do a scene where it was very aggressive and you just felt like...
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to go into too much detail. Like, honestly, some of my experiences are really humiliating for me, and I wish that they never happened. There's stuff going on, like people getting pissed on. Men are pissing inside of women's vaginas, assholes, down their throats. Sorry.
Oh, don't cry.
Told myself I was negative.
Now I'm crying. I'm like, God.
She's not only a great performer, but she's also great on podcast as well too. The way she was able to transition into this role and play the victim, so you guys don't view her as the nasty woman that she is, aka sex work adult star, the adult star. Oh my gosh, I generated so much fun from sucking cock and drinking bowls of piss and constant DPs, unprotected anally.
Okay, we're gonna just say that.
And I didn't know all these divisions existed within porn. I thought it just was anal and DP and missionary and
Anyways.
and now there's ethics involved. There's ethical porn. Oh my god.
Okay, to be fair, I will say that in any industry, there can be abuse, right? We are aware of this. However, I do think that that term gets thrown around a little bit too loosely. And in this situation, not to say that average girls have situations so extreme that they're humiliated by, but I think because she's in this industry, because everything is filmed and searchable and things like that, that's really where she's feeling that humiliation. So I'm not gonna knock her for feeling like that, because at the end of the day, if my worst moments, even if I was being compensated for it, and most of us, let's be honest, are doing shit for free, if our worst moments were filmed and available like that, I think we might have a little bit more empathy in the situation.
Wait. Because at one moment you wanted everyone to have access to your clips like that,
Absolutely.
right?
Absolutely.
So why the switch?
No, I'm just saying, like, think about it in the way of, think about how you were at if everything from the time you were 19 to, let's say, 28 was filmed, like, whatever moments in those moments that you were like, yeah, this is dope, like, this is fire, whatever, but that was filmed, and now you've changed your path, you're doing different things, you're changing your style of work, you're trying to get into different avenues of things. Wouldn't you feel like, okay, damn, this is still searchable? Like, you can't get over it in the same way that the average person, like, I can get over past mistakes because I know someone can't Google it.
I totally get what you're saying, but with social media today and Twitter and things like that, people can dig into your past and see, the shit that you used to blurt out and maybe believed at one point, no matter what age. So yeah, that does exist today in regards to documentation of your personality or things like that. Yeah, this is different in regards to now you're having sex on camera. You're doing things out of the ordinary or to the extreme to generate views or just to remain at a certain position. I get that. Also, I'm sure prior to you signing up for this position, you did some type of research. It may have not been as extensive as, we are privy to research today. However, you were old enough, and I would assume at the state of mind to where you could make decisions for yourself.
I think at night.
And I'm sure at that same age and point in life, you were able to weigh the good and bad in a lot of situations. And there were some things that you told yourself, you know what? I'll stick this one out. See, I'll take that sacrifice just so I can get ahead of the game. That shortcut. When diving into porn, the stigma that comes with that. You knew what you were signing up for. You knew 10 years down the road that no matter what you did, this was going to stay online. And you knew 10 years today that you were going to feel the way you feel today. But you made that sacrifice because you wanted quick, fast money and fame. Selling your soul to the devil, and that comes with the territory. I do not feel sad for you.
She's talking about two different types of porn. So at the end of the day, you can, for instance, you as a single person, you sleeping with another single person is you having sex with someone. You might not consider that a problem, right? You as a single person having sex with a married person, it's the same coitus, you're having the same interaction, but this person, there's a guilt associated with this because this person is involved with someone else, right? That's the difference. You can do the same act and have it at least be ethical for like your sense of well-being versus being degrading. And I think that's what she's trying to differentiate. I'm not saying she's a victim here, but I don't think she has an issue with the fact that she's done porn. She has no issue with sex work. But there's a big difference between, like she said, vanilla and then doing things that in the long run just really probably make you feel bad about yourself or every time. Yeah, like they are, at that point, it's like, it
detrimental.
Yeah, like, and I do get the fact that we also we go in waves, so it's, you feeling one type of way at 19 might not translate when you're 28, 29. So I won't say she's a victim, and I'm not going to say that this was abuse, but at the same time, I can understand why she does feel that sense of humiliation, because the rest of us, in a way, get to just drop our humiliation off in the past. If we make enough new friends, if we get around enough new circles, if people just forget shit, we don't have to relive that. But when you can just type it in and pull up a scene and pull up that exact moment and that exact clip, I think that's where the root of that humiliation is coming from.
No, that's really hard. And I think, like I had mentioned earlier, it's just so important for young men to stop viewing women as sex objects, because I believe that, instilling that curriculum in school at a younger age. And they had actually said, there's a fact that says that the more a young person had learned about the use of pornography from their school education or sex education, is less likely to see women as sex objects. And I
agree with that. I think we need to be well informed.
I just want to listen to the keywords because you said young person. So is this just everyone viewing a woman, or it's just a man viewing, or a little boy viewing a woman? Because it goes both ways too, right?
It definitely goes both ways.
Because little boys aren't the only one looking up porn. Honestly, I want to believe that women look it up as much or even more from what the numbers show.
I think once women get to a certain age, they do, but in the initial stages of puberty, the majority of women are not initiating watching porn as frequently as men are.
Depending on the environment, because the little small hick town I grew up in, that was different. I recall being I was like 12 years old. I won't name the woman, but at the time we were kids, and I recall her telling me how she watched porn online on her computer.
No, I'm not saying that's anecdotal.
But I know, but she wasn't the only one talking like that in that year, in that moment. I get the masses.
Puberty is much stronger. When men go through puberty, women have periods and stuff, and I'm not going to say that isn't influential, but puberty for men is much different because, like, we talk about gender, we talk about biology. It's different hormones running through testosterone.
We're not speaking on a scientific level. We are speaking on accountability. Right now, they're just pushing it all on men. And no. She said person in regards to their viewpoint of women. So she's still speaking for women, and with that, she was not taking no accountability. She's just saying little boys.
She said person.
I know to say to focus on the keywords, but you have to also focus on the intent. I'm just saying that she's coming from a place where she doesn't want to hold her or hold women accountable for their actions. We understand what the boys go through. We understand their puberty level or the testosterone or how they view sex at an early age. We get that point. Let's take the boys out. A lot goes for the same for the girls because a lot of them have sexual urges early on that they have to be taught early on to control. Hold yourself accountable on here. Let's not speak on the boys. Let's speak on the women on here. And what decisions we made early on, it goes back to the root of your decision. We're not going to the decision of you being a sex worker. We're going to the decision that you made after analyzing and understanding, if I enter this fucking world, which is fucking degrading, and me knowing already what it's done to me and how it's somewhat hindered me, but I'm gonna go into it head first anyways.
It literally didn't say that.
She said studies showed that little persons.
Yes, about.
So studies show.
She said persons, and then you're trying to harp on the fact that she didn't just say women. She's talking about kids. Kids need to be educated in sex ed properly.
We're gonna go a few seconds back. She's gonna talk about little persons, boys, and then resort from holding any accountability on women. Watch how she speaks on women in this light, in this very moment.
I feel that's why, I feel so passionate about the porn industry, because I don't believe that they should be showing those types of scenes, because it does view women as just an object, and it's not okay to do that.
But it makes a man look great, right? Because I don't think those men are great when I see a porn star. I don't look at a man and I'm like, I want to be that guy. I'm hearing exactly what she's saying. She's saying how the women are viewed in porn.
No, she's talking about the specific scene.
And I feel that's why, I feel so passionate about the
right
because I don't believe that they should be showing those types of scenes, because it does view women as just an object, and it's not okay to do that.
GONZO scenes. That's what she's talking about.
You're not listening to me, partner. That same GONZO scene that degrades that woman. How's that man looking that light? You're different. You're a woman. You guys overanalyze everything. So you guys are very particular if you're going to pull up some footage of fucking porn. You're going to be like, okay, I'm going to look for this type of porn. So with that,
women are getting pissed on or shit on. No.
No, it's not attractive at all.
That's what she's saying. It's degrading.
But I don't think, I don't see what separates you getting shit and pissed on from you getting DP'd on and 10 dudes coming on you.
She's talking about those scenes.
What's the difference? No, she's not talking about the DP.
Vanilla is
Rhoades, she is she's separating DP from...
Vanilla is normal. That's the point of it being vanilla. People like to also watch normal shit.
What's DP fall under?
DP falls under basic gonzo. That's what she said at the beginning of the video.
She didn't say that's where DP
She said anal falls in the beginning of gonzo. I would say that that's the first level. That's literally verbatim what she said. That's my point is, it's not degrading the whole thing. If that's your niche, if that's your fetish, that's fine. You take it to another level once you want to shit on someone. That is degrading for whoever's getting shit on.
And now this is where I have to come back in because there are video clips of porn stars in the middle of doing their job where the man's like, I'm gonna put it in your ass. She's like, nah, I'm good. Don't even try it. The man doesn't try it because the woman said in that moment, I don't want it. They kept the videos rolling. Lana, you watched enough footage and you've seen enough women say, no, don't do it. I don't want to do it. You talk to enough women in that field when in regards to, hey, how do you say no to something? Or, hey, how do you go about doing this or doing that? Because I know you asked all types of questions. I'm pretty sure.
Now, it's okay for people to have regrets. People have regrets in normal life. Like, it's okay to regret something. Even if you said yes 10 years ago, it's okay to be like, yo, 10 years ago, I made this really shitty decision and I'm still humiliated by it. Some of us, when we're in our moments, we be thinking about shit that we did as 17-year-olds. Be like, damn, I really did that fuck. But it's not filmed. So it's okay for people to be humiliated. Like, what is your issue? Like, you just looking a bitch.
It's not that I'm looking a bitch. It's women that choose certain lifestyles that just won't hold themselves accountable because we have centuries of history of information that allow you to know that you did this at your free will. Yes, because we don't have centuries of footage, but we have centuries of documentation that this has been an ongoing thing. Okay. Now they just have it on camera when the camera was finally introduced to the world. Okay. But prior to that, they weren't having crazy orgies. Kings weren't having orgies. Okay, so like I'm saying, these type of things always existed, right? Now we live in the world where everything has to be documented and
everything has to be pushed because we also live in a world where being viral or being the top tier of something always means you're pushing the buttons. That's why people go out of
like you said, pushing the buttons.
The most.
So and there's a button to go and there's a button to stop. Lana, why did you not press the stop button? Why didn't you press the stop button, Lana? No, she didn't. She went on through.
She's not still doing that though. She's not currently doing that right now. She's not currently doing that right now though.
That's not what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about stopping her career. I'm talking about in the moment. That button always existed. She could have pressed the stop button.
I'm sure all of your mistakes, there was a button to stop and you didn't stop, right? In real life, same here.
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. I should have pressed
We're not the same when it comes to this. We're not the same when it comes to this.
You're just being judgmental.
I'm not being judgmental. I'm not being judgmental. You
are being judgmental, but
I'm not being judgmental. That's your viewpoint, and this is my viewpoint.
Okay.
My viewpoint is just different from yours.
That's fine.
You judge it one way, I judge it another way. Okay. That means we're both being judgmental.
That's fine.
All right.
My point is that everybody has mistakes in their past, and you could be holier than thou and say, oh, well, there's a stop button, but realistically, I'm sure all of us have made mistakes in our past where there were multiple pathways and we still chose the wrong one and continued down the shit that we already knew was going to lead us a certain place. Mm-hmm. Hindsight, which is the benefit of life, the benefit of getting to make mistakes to learn, hindsight lets you realize, hey, this made me feel so shitty, I'm not going to do it again. And at the end of the day, I don't care about Lana Rhodes. I don't care about any of this shit.
Does she have more than one video of her doing this?
She's not doing it now. Should we be held to the standards of us at 21?
This is what...
Like what?
This is what porn stars do every time at the end of their career or when they fall off from number one. Lana, instead of looking at all the good parts of these porn stars' careers before diving into this, why didn't you look at all the negative parts of it as well? Huh? I don't care about the decisions that you made. I'm pretty sure you came from a pretty decent family too. I don't want to hear none of this shit. You guys are not victims in my eyes. You're grown women playing victim, but you're still going out in the field playing these type of games. I don't feel sad for you. It goes against her fucking cries.
Like, girl, like but like I want to watch ethical porn. I want it to be normalized and I want it to be taught to where it shouldn't be to where a woman is being abused and is, like the male is showing aggression, because that actually is going to translate into his relationships with women in the future, his wife. Like, it's actually statistically proven that it's going to show aggression in a marriage and a relationship, and that's, I mean, how is that healthy? Like, that's not healthy at all.
Well, a lot of it is like young boys.
It's not healthy. It does affect the way you view a partner. It's one of the reasons why I don't view porn the way I view it, and you have to view it with a whole different viewpoint, because if you just view it because you're learning from it, you already failed. You need to view it just for what it is, entertainment. You know, if you're looking for a quick whatever rub, go ahead, get it out the way. You know, it's quick. But leave it at that. You're not supposed to consume it, allow that to be a part of your life, and then let that bleed into all your relationships. Because she's right, it's not healthy. It's the same for the little girl or woman viewing it the same way, thinking this is how she needs to perform when she's in the bedroom with the man, and then she falls in love and grows attachment to this man and wants to be viewed a certain way. Okay, you have to understand, the way you allowed him to see you in the bedroom, it's hard for him to not see you that way now. So maybe if you offer other elements in the relationships for him to maybe almost forget that portion of you, or even view that portion of you in a grand light and just compare all the other great things about you, maybe that can help. But you have to consider those factors in too, okay? We understand the man's role in this. It's fucked up. It's really fucked up. But we all have to hold ourselves accountable. That's how I feel about it.
Word.
You have anything to say against that?
No, I agree with that. That's what I said. It's like you have to teach children how to interpret their sexuality through puberty in order to create the healthiest adult. There's a lot of things that we don't go over with kids, and then we leave them to their resources, and especially in a time with social media, especially with access to the internet and stuff like that, kids are just running wild, and they're finding a lot of these things that do lead them to make certain decisions in the bedroom. I don't think it's a man or a woman thing, but at the end of the day, we do talk about biology. The physicality of a man, in most cases, can overpower a woman. So regardless if a woman is like saying, you know, unless it's an age gap and the woman is the pedophile and she's the older one and she's overpowering the man in a more of a psychological game, physically on the, like, you know, a 16-year-old to a 16-year-old boy to a 15-year-old girl, most of the time that 16-year-old, if they have internalized something, I would say, I don't want to say wrong, I don't want to say bad, but let's just say overly aggressive behavior, that can overpower a girl at that age. So that's where I think is more maybe where the talking points were coming from. In my mind, I think both, I don't even know how to say that, but everybody, all the children, everybody needs to be educated on safe sex practices, be educated on consent, be educated on all these things. And if you do have fetishes and you do have kinks, explore those in a consenting way with somebody that can respect your boundaries.
Don't understand, and they think that this is normal and that's what girls want. So they've probably never been with a girl before, and they see these horrible things and they're like, oh, this is how to please a girl. This is what I have to do. Yeah. This is what she wants. And then they, you know, do these things and they act certain ways and they don't realize the effects that they're having on women.
Yeah, well, they do say that serial killer and rapists are the ones who are consuming these extreme types of porns. A lot of serial killers, when they've gone through their search history, they're watching like these abusive porn, and there's tons of pornography on their search history.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I obviously, like I said, I've watched porn. I do.
Yeah, I mean, there's nothing wrong with watching.
Yeah,
porn.
but I've stumbled upon some videos where I'm not gonna lie. I really questioned, why is this even allowed on the internet?
Over a hole?
Sweet until it's convenient.
It is sweet, but you know how I am. Until it's convenient, you're right.